I've been helping fitness studios build multi-channel marketing systems since 2017. I've helped hundreds of them reach over $50,000 a month in revenue, and I own Untapped Revenue that does 6 figures a month managing the entire marketing system for hundreds of different fitness studios. In this video, I'm going to walk through the 7 deadly marketing mistakes I see fitness studio owners making in 2025, and more importantly, exactly how to fix them. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap to instantly improve your lead quality, drop your lead cost by up to 50%, and build a marketing system that generates a consistent flow of high quality leads month after month. Mistake number 1 is running the wrong offer. The biggest mistake I see is gyms that are running an offer that doesn't actually resonate with their specific market. Here's the thing, most studios are just copying what other studios are doing, or they come up with an offer based on gut feeling. That, or they're listening to an agency that tells them what they should run. This is a major mistake because every location has a completely different demographic with different motivations. What works in San Diego might completely flop in Chicago, and same with other parts of the world. So what you need to start doing is treating your location as an individual entity separate from all other locations. Now, this is not to say that some offers that work in other places aren't going to work at your location, but what you need to start to do is implement a data-driven testing system. With the proper testing systems in place, you can figure out exactly what your market wants and then give it to them. The best way to do this is to pick 10 to 20 different offers / hook combinations and then run isolated variable tests. That way, what you can do is get some data from your audience to suggest which offer to actually run. After running an offer test, you will have an idea of exactly the right direction to go in based on what your audience actually wants. Once you've run a test like this and you have an offer to move forward with, you're then going to test this to see if it actually generates bookings, show ups, and membership sales. If you want a step-by-step on how to actually build out an offer test, I just published a video called the 7 simple steps to create irresistible gym offers without wasting money. That video walks you the best offer testing system that you can leverage in order to figure out which offer to run in your specific market. Mistake number 2 is not optimizing for bookings and show-ups. The biggest issue in this industry today is everybody is talking about the cost to acquire a lead. The issue with this is it's just a vanity metric, because the reality is if you have a bunch of $2 leads, but none of them actually book appointments or show up to the studio, well, then those leads don't matter. What you should really be optimizing for is the cost to get somebody to book an appointment and the cost to get somebody to show up in the studio. We recently ran a test at a couple different locations in which we were running Canva style ads. The issue was we were getting a ton of leads, but none of them were actually booking and showing up. And so what we did is we completely revamped the style of creatives that we were using from a Canva type style that was generating around $8 a lead into a video style format. With the video style format, we were getting leads for almost double the cost, roughly around $15 to $17. However, the cost to get somebody to book an appointment and the cost to get somebody to show up was much cheaper than running the Canva style ads. This is why it's extremely important to track your cost per booking and your cost per show to actually see if the leads are converting. If they're not converting, well, then it doesn't matter if your cost per lead is cheap and $5. The way you can actually track this is by leveraging conversion API tracking. What this allows you to do is any leads that are coming through your funnel, you can tell Facebook what happened to those leads after they opted in. And so if they booked an appointment, you can send that information back to Facebook. If they showed up for an appointment, you can also send that information back to Facebook. What this then allows you to do is to actually see which ads are producing most bookings and most show ups. And this way, you're not just looking at the cost per lead and hoping that this is actually going to get bookings. You're actually seeing in real time which of the ads are actually producing the best results. For the sake of this video, I'm not going to walk through exactly how to set it up, but just note there's tons of videos out there on how to set up Conversion API for your specific CRM system. Because everybody's using different CRM systems, I'm not going to go through each one, but there's tons of videos online that'll walk you through exactly how to set it up. Mistake number 3 is ignoring website conversion optimization. Every single month, you should be tracking how much traffic your website gets, and number 2, how many of those traffic visitors are actually converting into a lead. If the conversion of your website is less than 3%, then you need to make some adjustments to your website in order to improve the conversion of your website. We recently completely revamped a studio owner's website and we took their conversions from 2% up to 7 and 8%. That means out of 100 traffic visitors, instead of only getting 2 leads, they're now getting 7 to 8. The other thing to note is that your website generates the highest quality of lead. If you think about a person who is searching on Google actively for your services versus somebody who's just scrolling on social media, it's a completely different intent type. And so the people who come through your website are always the highest quality of lead. And so the best way to increase the amount of high quality leads that your studio is generating is to improve your website's traffic and conversion. So don't ignore your website. Make sure you're tracking your stats and make sure you're making constant adjustments to try to improve that system. Like I said, it brings in the highest quality of leads, and it's the biggest lever that you can push down on to quickly increase the volume and the quality of your leads. Mistake number 4 is ad creative mismatch. One of the biggest issues I see is studio owners that are using these Canva style images. The reason this can become a problem is because it lacks congruency with what people will actually experience when they come to your studio. I've seen this countless times as we're managing ads for a lot of our studio partners, is that when we try to test these different Canva style ads, they might be generating $8 to $5 leads. However, they're not actually getting people to book and show up. There's this lack of congruency that creates a lot of issues with our back-end stats. And so in a lot of cases, the simplest fix to actually improve booking rates and show up rates is just to change the creative from the Canva style images to a video that actually matches what's going to happen when somebody comes into the studio. Now, this isn't always the case. In some cases, we'll run a test where we compare a video ad to an actual Canva style ad, and they perform about the same, just the Canva style images create a cheaper cost per lead. And so what's really important is just to make sure you're actually tracking which of your ad assets is creating the most bookings and show ups. If the Canva styles are working, fantastic, keep them going. If they're not, then try a different style of creative to see if that improves the back-end conversions. And just as a reminder, the ads that get the cheapest cost per lead doesn't necessarily mean they're going to get the cheapest cost per booking and the cheapest cost per show. Mistake number 5 is having a faulty follow-up system. Follow-up is where most studios are leaving money on the table. They spend all this time generating these leads and all this money, but they have no systems to convert them into members on the back end. The harsh reality is that most leads won't book an appointment if you don't follow up within the first minute. Yet a lot of studios take hours or even days to respond. Over the past year, we've analyzed over 150,000 lead conversations across our fitness studio clients and found 3 of the most important elements to actually get leads to book and show up for their appointments. The first and most important is speed of interaction. You must respond within 1 to 3 minutes if you want to have a chance of booking these leads. In fact, just by replying within 1 minute, you increase the likelihood of converting those leads into bookings and show ups by 391%. So if there's anything you take away from this, is replying within 1 minute is the highest leveraged activity that you can do in order to improve your conversions onto bookings and shows. The second thing is conversational guidance. What you want to avoid doing is overwhelming your leads with options. We do not want your leads having decision fatigue, and so give them clear, simple choices and make sure not to overdo it. A good general rule of thumb is if you're asking a question, give 2 options and no more. For example, if you're asking somebody if they want to come to class, ask them, hey, do you want to come in the morning or evening? Once they've answered that, you can give them 2 options, either in the morning or evening, depending on what they said. If they say, I want to come in the morning, give them 2 options of morning times on 2 different days. I see this so often where clients will send their entire calendar, and this just creates decision fatigue where they can't decide when to come. Ideally, if you can get people into class the day they come through the funnel, do it. And the last thing I'll say about this is if somebody is asking about price, try your best not to answer that because they haven't experienced the value that you can provide in the studio. And so if you give them a price shock immediately right out of the gate, you're going to lose out on the opportunity to potentially close those people when they do come in. And for those leads that are just really pushy about getting price, just give them your price and be honest about it. In some cases, it might deter people if you're just trying to hide the price. The third thing is human personalization. You want to text people like they're your friend. You don't want to be using too much punctuation. You want to use emojis. You want to try your best not to feel like a corporate company. Too often I see people reaching out saying, hey, this is Untapped Revenue, just wanted to reach out. And the reality is people want to talk to other people. They don't want to talk to a business. And so treat them like a friend. And if you're using automation, the best trick that I have for making things feel personal is send your first automated text message with an error and then immediately send an automation that corrects that message. Why this works so well is because most people won't think this is a automation or an AI tool if it makes a mistake and then you correct it right away. We typically get high response rates in the 80 percentile when we have this system in place for correcting an immediate message that we send. Mistake number 6 is failing to optimize lead quality. Now, you've probably heard it before where agencies and gurus and all these people in the industry say that lead quality is not a problem. Well, I'm about to dismantle that belief. When you're running Facebook and Instagram ads, there's something called pocket theory. The idea here is you could run 2 of the exact same ads at the exact same time, and one ad might completely crush it while the other just completely flops. So why is that? They're the exact same ad going to the exact same audience. How could one do well and one could do bad? This is what's called pocket theory. The idea here is that one of the ads got put into the correct pocket of people people, while the other ad got put into the wrong pocket of people. And so to simplify how this actually works is think about it like this. When you start your ad, the first 5 leads that come through that ad tells Facebook of the types of people that are interested in this. If those 5 people are low income earners and they're not the right fit for your studio, well, Facebook doesn't know that. And so Facebook's going to continue to find more leads that relate to those people. This is how your Facebook algorithm can get stuck in the wrong pocket of people. And on the flip side, it could work in your favor too. If the first 5 leads that come through are the perfect fit for your studio, then the algorithm is going to constantly start trying to find more of those types of people. So the best way to ensure you keep high quality leads coming through your funnel is to make sure your creative is actually in line with the brand. You want the type of creative that you're running to attract the types of people that you actually want in the studio. And same with your copy. Your copy should call out the exact individuals you actually want to attract. And that way, anybody who's coming through your ads are the ideal clients that you actually want. And so one of the best tips that you can do is make sure your creative is actually representing the studio. It's not these Canva style ads. The other thing you can do is make sure that you have a specific call out in your copy. And so it could be something like, I'm looking for men that are 30 to 45 years old that are looking to lose weight in the next 30 days. So something very hyper specific about who your ideal avatar is will help improve your lead quality. Here's 5 simple tests that you can run in order to help improve the quality of your leads. Number 1 is going to be what I just mentioned, which is creative style testing. You want to test different formats such as videos, images, carousels, and testimonial videos. Test number 2 is offer reconstructing. You want to test a variety of different offers, different hooks to see what types of people get attracted to those offers. You can test paid versus free offers, high ticket versus low ticket. And the idea is you're trying to figure out which types of offers are attracting the right quality prospect. Test number 3 is going to be adding friction. You want to add qualification questions to your lead forms. Make sure that they have to jump through some hoops in order to actually become a lead. If you do this proper, then all the leads that are coming through your funnel are going to be qualified leads that actually can afford your services. Test number 4 is audience testing. And so you can test different things like interests, income levels, men versus women ad sets, etc. The idea here is you're trying to find the right pocket of people that are actually the right quality. And then lastly, as I mentioned already, copy specificity. Be very clear about who your studio is for and who it's not for. One of the best things you can do is also include that specificity in your actual video. That way, the copy showcases exactly who your studio is for, and so does your creative element. Mistake number 7 is not leveraging database reactivations properly. Most studios are so focused on generating new leads that they forget about the hundreds or thousands of people who already know about their studio. Now, similar to how a lot of studios are running offers just based on gut feel and not actually doing any data testing, you should apply the same principles when it comes to your reactivation offer. Before you ever think about messaging your list, you first want to collect some data to figure out what offer should you run to that list. The biggest mistake a lot of studios make is they just select a random offer to run to that list. They then send that and they wonder why they're getting no engagement. So in the exact same way you want to prove an offer before you actually run that offer is the same thing you want to do with reactivation. So you could run a simple test on your Facebook ads with a few different offers that you want to run as a reactivation, figure out which of those offers actually gets the best response rate, and then use that offer in your reactivation messages. Once you have the offer you want to run, you want to segment your list into 3 different categories: cold leads that never came to the studio, past trials that came but never joined, and then former members that joined but left. Now just be sure with your former members list and your past trialers that you filter out any people that you know weren't a good fit in the first place. The last thing you want to do is send a message to those people that just aren't a good fit, and so just remove them from those lists. Once you have your list, you're going to craft specific messages for each group of people. For cold leads, you can say something like, "Hey name, it's your name from studio. Just wanted to reach out and mention that our offer is ending soon. Would you like a spot before it's gone? It's only blank price." For past trials, you can say something like, "Hey name, I know you completed a trial at our studio in the past, and I wanted to see if you'd be interested in our second shot trial. It's blank offer. Would you like a spot before it's gone? It's only blank price." And lastly, for former members, you can say something like, "Hey name, I just wanted to reach out and say we miss seeing you at the studio. If you were at all interested in coming back, we have a new offer we're running that I'd love for you to come try. Would you like a spot before it's gone?" Once you have your messages set up and ready to go, you can drip those out to around 50 contacts every 2 to 3 hours from Monday to Friday. The idea is you want to drip them out so that you have enough time to actually reply to all the text messages that'll come through, and you also don't want to get your phone number banned, and so sending 50 messages every couple hours is usually the proper quantity so that you don't get your number banned. So those are the 7 biggest fitness studio mistakes that I see being made in 2025. If you found this video helpful and you want me to make more content like this to help you grow your studio, please leave it a like, share, and subscribe to the channel so that I know this content is valuable for you so that I can make more content just like this. And for those of you that need more hands-on help, you can book a strategy call with myself. There's a link below in the description where we can hop hop on a call. I can audit your marketing systems and help you grow your studio.